You've been lied to about how true wealth is actually kept, while the middle class is stressing over which stock to buy or how to save a few dollars on taxes. The top 0.1% are playing a completely different game behind closed doors. Welcome back to Sovereign Wealth. Today, you are going to learn the exact blueprint of a family office. We are going to break down how billionaires protect their money legally and how you can build a micro version of it for your own family starting this month, regardless of your current net worth. You see, the ultra-wealthy don't use regular banks to store their wealth. They don't rely on standard financial advisors who charge high fees for average returns. Instead, they use this private financial fortress to do one specific thing: make sure the money never leaves the bloodline. It's how the Rockefellers and modern billionaires protect their empires from taxes, lawsuits, and inflation, and it is exactly what you need to start doing. Before we build your family office, you need to understand why the traditional system is designed to keep you broke. Since you were young, you were taught the responsible path. Go to school, get a good job, put your money in a savings account, and invest in a standard retirement fund. But let's do the math. If inflation is running at 3 or 4% and your bank is paying you 1 or 2%, you are mathematically losing money every single day. Add to that the 20 to 40% the government takes from your income in taxes. Before you even see your paycheck, you are bleeding wealth from both sides. The ultra-wealthy understand that traditional banking is for the masses. They know that cash is not a store of value. It is a tool for transactions. The elite do not save money. They convert cash into hard assets and place those assets inside legal entities. They separate themselves from their money legally, so when the tax man or a lawsuit comes knocking, they own nothing on paper, but they control everything. This is the foundation of the family office. So how do you actually build this fortress? Welcome to the core of the family office. Rule number 1. Total asset protection. The legendary billionaire John D. Rockefeller famously said, "Own nothing, but control everything." This is the ultimate secret of the elite. Normal people put everything in their own name: their house, their car, their investments. When you do this, you are a walking target. If you get sued, or if the government changes tax laws, your personal wealth is completely exposed. The ultra-rich do not make this mistake. They use legal entities, like limited liability companies and trusts, to hold their assets. Think of a trust like a digital vault. You put your house and your investments inside the vault, and you lock the door. On paper, you don't own those assets anymore. The trust owns them. But guess what? You control the trust. You can start doing this today. By setting up a simple family trust or an LLC, you immediately create a firewall between your personal identity and your family's money. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have a massive corporation. Why do I need an LLC? Here's the reality check. The moment you start making money outside of a standard paycheck, you are in business, whether it is a side hustle, a consulting gig, or a single rental property. If you operate as an individual, you absorb 100% of the risk. But if you set up a simple limited liability company, which costs a few $100s, you create a legal barrier. Let's say you own a rental property, and someone slips on the driveway. If the house is in your name, they can sue you, take your personal savings, and ruin your financial life. But if that property is owned by your LLC, the lawsuit is contained. Your personal bank account, your primary home, and your family's future remain completely untouched. This is how you start playing defense, like the 0.1%. Once your money is protected, we move to rule number 2, and this is the most controversial strategy in wealth building. It is a concept known in elite circles as buy, borrow, die. This is exactly how billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos pay almost 0% in income taxes legally. Here's how the middle class operates. You buy an asset. It goes up in value. You sell it to get the cash. And boom, the government steps in and takes 20 to 30% in capital gains taxes. You just lost a massive chunk of your wealth simply because you sold. But a family office, never sells its best assets. Instead of selling, they use their assets as collateral to get a loan from the bank. Why? Because debt is completely tax-free. If you have $100,000 in a stock portfolio or in real estate, you don't sell it to buy a car or fund a business. You borrow against it. Your assets continue to grow. The loan is tax-free. And you keep your wealth compounding forever. But wealth is useless if the next generation destroys it, which brings us to rule number 3, the bloodline protocol. Did you know that 70% of wealthy families lose their entire fortune by the second generation, and 90% lose it by the third? The elite call this the shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves curse. To truly understand the importance of this rule, we have to look at history. Let me tell you the story of two distinct empires. In the late 1800s, Cornelius Vanderbilt was the richest man in the world. He built a massive railroad empire and left his family over $100 million, adjusted for inflation. That is billions today. But Vanderbilt made one fatal mistake. He left the money directly to his heirs, with no rules, no financial education, and no family office to protect it. His children and grandchildren built massive French-style chateaus in New York, threw lavish parties, and sold off the family assets to fund their luxurious lifestyles. Within 50 years, the Vanderbilt empire was gone. By the 1970s, when 120 of his descendants gathered for a family reunion, there was not a single millionaire among them. They went from the richest family on earth to completely average in just a few generations. Now, contrast that with John D. Rockefeller. He did not just pass down money, he passed down a system. He created the modern family office, locking his wealth inside complex trusts. His descendants could not just withdraw millions to buy mansions. They received distributions based on strict rules. Today, we are on the 7th generation of Rockefellers, and they are still a prominent, wealthy, and powerful family. The difference was not how much money they made. The difference was the structure they built to keep it. To prevent this curse, a sovereign family office doesn't just manage money, it manages the family. They create a family constitution, a set of rules that dictates exactly how the money can be used. Heirs don't just get a blank check when they turn 18. They have to present a business plan, or use the money exclusively for education or buying income-producing real estate. They essentially turn the family office into a private family bank. If a family member wants to start a business, they borrow from the family trust, and they pay the trust back with interest. The money stays inside the bloodline, growing larger and more powerful with every generation. You do not need $100 million to start thinking like a sovereign family office. You just need to stop playing by the rules designed for the middle class. Protect your assets with legal entities. Stop selling your best investments just to pay taxes, and start educating your family on how to protect the bloodline's wealth. The system is rigged, but once you know the rules, you can build your own fortress if you are ready to stop thinking like a consumer and start acting like a sovereign. Hit the subscribe button right now. Leave a comment below saying sovereign so I know who the real builders are. I will see you in the next video. Wait, if you are still watching, it means you are serious. You are not a consumer. You are a builder. So, before you leave, here's your sovereign blueprint for the next 12 months. 3 exact steps to begin your empire today. Step 1. The shield. Stop owning things in your own name. Consult a professional. And set up your first legal entity, an LLC or a private holding company. This is the foundation of your fortress. Step 2. The asset. Do not buy a luxury car or a designer watch. Buy your first sovereign asset, a piece of income-producing real estate or a solid dividend portfolio, and place it inside your new entity. Let it grow, tax protected. Step 3. The code. Take a blank piece of paper and draft the first page of your family constitution. Write down your core financial principles. What are your non-negotiables? Write it in stone. Execute these 3 steps, and you are no longer playing the middle-class game. Now, go build.